Hey everybody. Okay, today is a fun day and it should be pretty short and simple. It is all about following up. Following up is absolutely crucial. It is right behind inviting as far as having a successful business goes. It's actually really easy, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's not as scary as you think. And we're going to walk you through it. Um, did you know that most people say no to anything new 6 times before they say yes? 6 times is the average. How many times did you say no to your coach when they invited you? I know that when Nicole invited me, I said no 7 times over about nine or sorry, over about 9 or 10 months. 7 times, which makes for a great story now. But people aren't going to say yes to something usually right off the bat. We as humans are hardwired to stay in our comfort zone, and it takes a lot for us to bust out of that. We're just hardwired to say no. So know that going in. It's rare that you will get someone to say yes on the first invite, okay? Um, let's see. Oh, I had a challenger sign up last month. I have been talking to her for over a year. I started talking to her last summer, and I've just kind of been present and maintained like a relationship behind the scenes through messages. And she just signed up last month. It's been a year. So don't discount the value of being present and staying present in people's lives. I had a coach who joined me not long after I started, who had to cancel her coaching account. Life was just really busy, and I maintained a presence in her life. I actually value her as a human being, and she just recently re-signed up as a coach on our team. So the point is, this business is about people. This is a people business. We are not in this just to make a quick sale. We are called Team Genuine for a reason. We genuinely care about people, and that's part of it. We have to be invested in the person, and that means having a relationship. So another way to think about following up isn't just following up on the invite, it's following up on the relationship. Because remember, like this whole time between messages, whether they answer you or not, whether they've seen it or not, you should still be looking on their social media, knowing what's going on in their lives. So the follow-up doesn't just have to be about your invite. It doesn't have to be whatever the last message that went ignored or whatever was about. Like if they posted that they just got back from a vacation or they're planning one, hey, have you ever been there before? Or hey, I went there 3 years ago and it was really great. Are you planning to do da da da? Or maybe they just got a new pet, or a new car, or they had a really rough day. You just pop in and you're like, hey, how are you? How's this going? And you just start conversation based on something that you saw. And it's not every day. Remember, we have our trackers and we have a system, or should, and you'll go through an evolution of those. So don't worry. But that's another reason for the importance of tracking. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, and the whole time that you're doing all of those things, the way that the Facebook algorithms currently work is that the more communication you have in private messages, the more frequently you will have your post will be seen on their page. Does that make sense? So the more conversations you have, the more likely they are to see your posts. And remember, our social media is our glue that holds everything together. All the invites and the conversations are being reinforced by what people see on our pages, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. They see what you don't always have to say. And that's why we can focus on the relationship part, not just making it feel like an icky invite or, hey, why haven't you clicked on this link yet? Okay. And remember, this is important. I like to remind myself of this frequently. Following up is really just another way of keeping the conversation going and maintaining the relationship. And remember that a comment plus a question equals conversation. So whatever it is that you send a message about based on their social media or whatever, it's a comment. Hey, I saw that it looks like you guys have a fun vacation coming up. Question, where are you going? What all do you have planned? And that will lead to conversation. So I just wanted to throw that reminder in there. Okay, so if you sent an invite or your follow-up went completely unanswered, just remember that people get busy. Like they could be standing in line at Target or at Walmart or in the school pickup line, scrolling through their phone, a message comes up and then like a car honks at them, or like the person comes on through the speaker of the drive-through and distracts them. Like the kids are throwing a fit at the store. Like people get busy. It gets lost in the shuffle. We can't take it personally. We can't. Like I have been amazed at the things that have come back to me sometimes. Like, oh yeah, we went out of town, or my power was out for 3 days, or, I mean, there's just no telling. So the biggest thing is not to take it personally if people don't answer you back right away. It's okay. You need to wait 2 or 3 days and then you send them something else. And this is where our scripts come in. And this not only the scripts is always where you should start, but use the team page, use your coach. That's what we're here for. You don't have to do this alone. Like, I think that's one of the hardest things to remember sometimes, is that you don't have to do this alone. But always start with the scripts and then use the team page and then use your coach. So I wanted to do one more thing before I go through these scripts. I know that following up can be scary because there is that kind of sense or that fear of rejection. And it's the same thing with inviting. It's okay to lead with that. It is. It's okay to say, and we'll talk about it. It's okay to lead with the fear. Hey, I don't mean to seem pushy. Hey, I hope, I'm not interrupting your day or something like that. Just, it's okay to lead with that. So this is where the scripts comes in, and the scripts are in the TeamG Google Drive. If you don't know where to find that, post it below, because if you don't know where to find it, the likelihood that other people don't know where to find it is there too. And if we need to, we can do a video about that. But real quick, on our TeamG page in Facebook, if you click on About, it will pull up new coaches start here, and then VIP team, I don't remember exactly what it says. Like, it's basically the Google Drive. It says TeamG Google Drive. And then there's also a link to our coach webinars. So that's where to find it. But right here, like, see, super easy to pull up. I had it ready to go. I'm just going to read these. So this is like if you send a follow-up and it gets ignored. Hey girl, I know life gets really busy. I wanted to check back with you. Are there any other questions I can answer to help you feel more comfortable when it comes to working together on these goals? Hey girl, I know life can get busy. Have you had a sec to think about the group that we talked about? Here's a third one. Hey, I never want to sound pushy. I just get really excited about sharing this program. You've been on my mind, and I wanted to follow up and see if this might be the right time for you to give me 30 days to show you what Shakeology can do for your health. Another one is, my intention is never to be salesy, pushy, pesky, and then, follow up that way. And another one that you can do, like if after you have a challenger, if you've sent a coach invite and they've kind of ignored it, they're still plugging in and all that stuff, but they've ignored the coach invite part. A good way to follow up on that one is to say, hey lady, did you get a chance to enroll as a coach before your next Shakeology ships? That was a good one. So they're all right there on the Google Drive. And don't forget to utilize the team page and your coach. Okay, a couple more things. If you get a verbal commitment and you've sent a link and there's still crickets, Nicole can chime in here if she would like to say otherwise. But I have done this sometimes with success, sometimes without success. I will add them to a challenge group. I won't do this with coach. Well, I have done this with a coach and then I had to remove them. So I've done it with challengers, and I will add them to the group after the verbal commitment, and I will leave them in there for up to like a month, and I'll just send follow-up messages. hey, I added you to the group. We're in prep week. Have you taken your pictures and measurements? Have you meal planned yet? Where are you struggling to get started? And they may continue crickets. And then at the end of 30 days, you just say, hey, now doesn't seem like the right time for us to work together, but if the time becomes right, or if anyone you know could benefit from this, I'll be here with open arms. And then, in a month or two, I would follow up again. Just say, hey, saw blah 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 on your on your Facebook page, thinking of you. Just don't mention the group or anything. Just talk about just keep the relationship and the conversation going. Let's see. Remember that when we are following up, that we are actually giving people Nordstrom service versus Walmart service. That following up is actually a very personal thing to do. It shows people that you care about your business, that you're taking it seriously, and that you trust them to with your business. Does that make sense? We can follow up in many ways. It doesn't have to just be the easiest way, and what we really teach is through Facebook messages. But you can also send a card, you can send a little bracelet, you could send like a little cheap encouragement memento, something that just says, hey, keep going, don't give up, you're worth fighting for. You can send them like a little beach bar or a packet of Energize, just something that says, hey, I'm thinking of you, something to get in the mail. Like, whoever gets mail anymore? I mean, it's just a really nice personal touch. Definitely not a have to, but when we come from a place of giving people grace and a place of gratitude for even like indulging in the conversation with us from the beginning, it can go a long way. And it might not be that week, it might be a year later. But if you keep that relationship going, that's the important part. Because remember, we're in a business about people. Let's see. Oh, last thing, and then I'll let you guys go, is that following up, I think sometimes we forget that it's not just about someone that we've invited, whether it be to a challenge group or a free group or anything, or to coaching. It's following up with the people who have already said yes, following up with our challengers, making sure that we are checking in with them, making sure that we are checking in with the new coaches that we have signed up. This is not simply following up just about the invites. We need to remember that following up with those who trusted us, who said yes to us and have kind of put their journey in our hands, we need to maintain the relationship with them as well. Yes, all of this takes effort. All of this takes energy. It takes time, but that's what we're trying to teach you to do. We are trying to teach you a system and a way to do it so that you can do it in the cracks of your day, so that you can get it all done in 30 minutes to maybe up to an hour, depending on where you're at in your business. The longer that you work the business, perhaps the more you'll have to care for and want to spend more time caring for it and growing it. So, but we have systems and we have a process, and that's what we really hope that you will gain from this. So follow up, all about the follow up.